Booming Thunder Radio, where we groove as the spirit moves. Yeah. Drawing the honey from the rock with the righteous Reverend Doctor on Booming Thunder Radio.
Welcome, mighty friends, to the Fourth Watch. I'm your host, Brother T.C. Yeah, just a humble bondservant, just like you guys that love the truth. Yeah, a Hanukkah warrior. Yeah, walking in a world unseen upon the earth, in a world unseen that has no eyes, that are walking blind. Yea, let not the blind lead the blind in the promised land. Yea, let the soaring of the eagles upon the land remove the snares upon all the people's hearts. Yea, and the wickedness that would come and throw stone, yea, upon the righteous man's door. May they be cursed after they have received their full measure of forgiveness, that each of us may be strengthened as they stone our house. Yea, that our hand would be lifted upon them, and our word would be against them for their repaying good with evil. Yea, the spirit of evil, may it bow, not before their pagan or Greek gods and goddesses. These are abominations upon the earth. Mighty Jehovah, our God, is a jealous God, and you shall worship no other God before him, or you will pay. Yea, for his merciful hand is almost done. And if you, able seamen, ye firstborn sons, don't wake up, you are the only ones, you guys are the only ones Mystery Babylon has to give to God. And the rest wander in delight in their own cavity, their own hollowed out places where they go in and out, and what would appear when they're young as heaven's delight. But after many years, and the iniquity force comes upon their bodies, and they become, yea, like toads sitting beside the pond that never receives the stream of living water. Croakers all around, reptilians, yea, tadpoles under the lily pads, yea, up there in Tennessee, y'all best be keeping watch. As the T for Texas, yeah, he sees the white horse in Tennessee. Yeah, Davy Crockett, yeah, with a rocket and a hatchet, yeah, does he set men free. Let no man deceive you, mighty friend. For the kingdom of heaven comes not by observation. You cannot say, here it is, or come here in this chamber, it's here, there he is. For it is spirit and unseen, since he walked, yea, and gave them 40 years to repent, making them open and close the door themselves, seeking some other way into the heavens, for they had been forsaken as when Noah went into the ark. And mighty Jehovah closed the door. Ye, don't let the door be closed upon you this time around. Ye, there are 10 kings in the ark. Yea, and righteous sons standing firm in the midst of evil. Yea, even as the promise of God is raised as an abomination in the promised land that should, yea, be like 2 fingers held up splitting up on high, but instead it's like a middle finger thrusting in a crevice, a crack of evil, a stench upon their hands. Seek a pure heart with clean hands, yea, birthed only by the Spirit of truth, yea, that the word would jump out like a scanning chart of the 72 names in the treasured passage, where those that can read, yea, the redness of the sea are wise enough to read, yea, having read all the chapters, that they may split the pages of the mighty Red Sea and walk upon the living water with Yehoshua, the rock, and stand with Moshe and our brothers, yea, loving them as ourselves, that the whole earth may be forgiven and repent. Yea, that the war and the shedding of blood, as in days of old, would never happen again. That our children would smell the stench but never see the blood spilt in ages ago. Yea, that the 635 and the D9 dozers, yea, could dig the pits, that the stench would not, yea, be an echo. Thank you, Father, for the righteous man, yea, and his family upon the earth. Each and every one hidden, yea, Hanukkah warriors, filled with truth and the glory of the everlasting. Yea, lovers of truth, now taking job applications. Yea, you a builder? Yea, is the craftsmanship of your hands upon the earth? The chiseling of your fingers upon the stone, are they as Shemiah, with kindness and softness, melting the stone together in men's hearts, that it may become flesh and circumcised, never eaten, for it is in their own heart, that they themselves throw that lamb skin's flap upon the unhewn stones of fire, and be forgiven, and not burn forever upon the lake of fire, for their unwillingness to love the truth. Yea, let not the lies we inherited from our fathers, and the twisting and weaving of the Word, to build the cities in this great promised land. The mighty one of Israel has commanded that their wealth be shared with the righteous from this day forth. That those that would receive the word and the wanting of the blade of truth within their heart, that it would thrust its tip into their mind like the tip of a tent pole, with 4 layers of cloth and hide and blood and prayer and a badger skin standing outside the tent of meeting, guarding the young in the cavern below. A natural instinct. You come against a bear and her cubs, and you will be devoured like a lion. Well, I hope you'll sit down, take your shoes off, put your feet in Washington's wash tub. That anointed one who commanded all the earth. That others in their darkness corrupted, that they may have all the cities for themselves. Well, no more. The word proclaims it, and in the Father's perfect time, that the whole earth could marvel at his name, Mighty Yehovah. Only revealed the Spirit outside of time and space, our Father in the worlds beyond, sent his Son in his image, that he could be the foundation of the earth and save, drawing forth the sword, the Spirit of truth from the rock, having pierced the beast within our hearts each morning by our prayers upon our knees, seeking first and only the kingdom of light, our badger skin before the hole of the pit of hell, never entering in, having something better made for the righteous and those that are to be perfected in this time, and that they may each one perfect those that came before us in Mighty Yehovah's perfect time, that the eyes of the heavens above and within, the eye of heavens would open, and the understanding of the Spirit and the angelic hosts and the throne and the sea of fire and glass before each and every one. Do you see it? Are you the able seaman upon the raging emerald ocean? That Nazi invention before you, to speak to the spiritual world that your carnal mind either lusts and thrusts in, or in their ignorance believe does not exist. Mystery Babylon exists, mighty friend. And those that walk in faith of everlasting glory within it reign from the clouds, and make the way straight for the coming of the mighty one of Israel, Yehovah's Son, the everlasting glory, Yahushua, the one that saves us from the pit of hell, the only one. We must believe in him in our heart with love and wanting, in the way of inequity within those with inequity, that have the calling but not the reprobate mind, that struggle, that go up and down, 6 and let it be the 7th time, that their reckoning and their rising up again would be the final time, and they could stand forever, having done all to stand firm in Mystery Babylon, ready to take the hands and hearts of the family and go forth into the treasured promised land given us, that evil has raped and pillaged from our treasured grandfathers, our forefathers of old. They stole the richest acre in all the earth from us. Kilgore, Texas, and Go Forth Road. Then, mighty friends, we each prayed for the Spirit of truth to slay the darkness in our hearts, that we, the us, the ones in him, that our place in his body, those with the mind of the anointed Son upon this earth, that walk in the heavens in their hearts, through the gate with the Spirit of truth and the love of the Word. And we place the blade within her this day. And she is wisdom that comes, with loving joy in her heart, to give this word, and open her pages to Job, for the job apps. And we're going to start in the fall, skinning of like a catfish or a forerunner, being made with eyes that see the heavens upon the earth. And like little baby eagles, they open their mouths wide, and the daddy eagle brings the mama eagle the snares tripped and slain by the word and the Spirit of truth, the snakes and the goats. And she devours them, being much larger than all of them, and chews them the way only a mother could, in the way that her man has given her the way and the truth and the life everlasting within her. And she chews the cud of righteousness from the unclean things brought to her, the unthings removed, that all the earth would be made clean, and evil would not triumph, for good would be as keen eagles forever. That whenever eagles would see the snake rear its head, even within the darkness, that it would be removed swiftly and, like a razor on a double-edged parable word in their hearts. Yeah, and as they grab the sword and blade with both hands, and their mouths are open wide and eyes bugging out, trembling with the blade within their hearts, he thrusts forth the truth of the right hand in their open mouths into their mind, and they stand quivering upon both his swords as he raises them and calls out for them to save them, mighty Father, for they know not what they do. For this world is the measure, the cane field for the worlds beyond. Lakes of fire and the pits of hell. What side of the great divide does your low-hanging fruit, abide in the stream? Does your Temple Mount right foot stand to the right or to the west? Or to the left or to the east? Or does your curved blade rear like the Ark of St. Louis? Carvers of metal upon the stone, workers of iniquity before Solomon, even until this very day. But then Eliaphus, the Temanite, answered, if one ventures a word with you like a spotless lamb, will you become impatient? But who can refrain from speaking these things? Can you, like a spotless one? Behold, you have admonished many in this moment, and you have strengthened weak hands this very day. Your words, the indwelling of the Spirit of truth within your heart, mighty friend. Your words, spoken unto your family and your brothers, have helped the tottering, the rocking ones to stand. And you have strengthened feeble knees of old age and clutched hands. But now it has come, to you guys like spotless lambs, and you are impatient. It touches you, and you are dismayed. Are you not? Is not your fear of mighty Jehovah your confidence? And the integrity of your ways, isn't that your hope? Remember now, whoever perished being innocent. Has anyone? Or just those that evil waits to lustfully take at their births? For the spirit of truth has become great in the land, and so the spirit of iniquity, having seen by their wickedness their days being cut off, 30 feet high all around, rich men build a wall. That evil could not cross over. Only a righteous man on his seventh try his 7th time around Jericho. Yeah, and he cries out like with a trumpet, with his whole heart, with all he has, Yahushua. That's Hebrew, the holy language for Yahovah. Save me. Save each of us. Yahushua saves us. And receive deep in your heart, in the good soil, that mustard seed. Yeah, that smallest of all the seeds. Yeah, but when it becomes two as one, dead hulls upon the ground and a root piercing the earth, bringing a life, an herb that becomes greater than any other herb in the field. Yeah, that even the birds and the fowls of the earth come and roost in her branches, for her fruit is good. Yeah. Yet they roost at night in the branches of evil. Yeah. May the pillars of fire hold them back from the redness of the sea we have been given. That the lightning would be upon them forever, unrepented, weighed and found wanting in a great measure. Let none receive the thunder, the booming thunder, the revelation of the word that builds Yahushua's ecclesia, those he, the Spirit of truth, calls out and reveals their part, their thumbnail reflection, that they can do their work and not, be as a 10-10, but as an 11-11, a true and treasured son, an Alexander that rules and reigns from the clouds in the heavens above, a saber unlike any other upon the earth, a gray-haired man, that makes the way straight, and plows the earth yet again. According to what I have seen, those who plow iniquity and those who sow trouble, they harvest it. By the breath of God they perish, and by the blast of his anger they come to an end. Yea, this day, this moment, this everlasting glory, and this hour, this 20 years within 1,000 years, in the space of 1 hour, do they cry out as maw cats, when Aaron's rod of fire is thrown down before the king, and the king sends forth his wizards and warlocks, and they throw their staffs and canes down, and they too become snakes. But then Aaron raised his hand to God, and his heart repented, seeing as he held his brother two as one guards by the gate. Hallelujah. Unseen until perfected in all the heavens upon the earth. Mighty men of valor, humbled hearts, wielding the spirit of truth, each with a part and a turban to wear, with a breastplate of righteousness, a shield of the faith, the sword of the Spirit, feet shod in the preparation of the gospel, yea, this word of faith to walk in mystery Babylon, yea, and command all the earth. And those that wait for mighty Jehovah, they are the ones that shall be upon the mama eagle's wings, as she takes them forth from the nest on top of the mountain, yea, having given them the nourishment and the courage as they pierce her wings and clutch her right and her left sides, balancing her in her flight upon the earth, as the Father on high, way above them, watches as she teaches the young to fly. Fly like an eagle till I'm free. Fly like an eagle, let the Spirit carry us. Yea, the we. Fly like an eagle in the sea. Fly like an eagle. You, the eyes, the we, the you, guys, humbled, faithful and true. Yeah, like a New Jersey udders on old Elsie's cow. Yeah, brought grazing in the green pasture. Yeah, and drinking from the stillness of the stream of the flowing water. Yeah, the babbling brook and the mulberry. Yeah, mulberry bush and the fruits seen and unseen upon the words, that bring the thrusting of Yahoshua's everlasting glory in the day of great delight, when the wanting of the sun, yea, the living word, birthed in our hearts, yea, that it would manifest within our hearts, having raised the big valley and lowered the snow-capped mountains and leveled the plain. And this time, that those that would steal, kill, and destroy would be made to share their bounty of all the earth and for all the time. Yea, commanding by the the Spirit of truth in our heart. And as the Spirit of truth, the blade is laid upon each one's left chest as we draw the noose up tight. A left hand holding one blade, a 3-bound cord upon the right. Liberty and justice for all. Yea, that the 7 spirits of truth be revealed in each righteous man's heart. And the Father of lights, mighty Jehovah, yea, by his will and desire and the faithfulness of his Son to do only the work of the eternal Father, and not the image of the beast. Do you love men? Do you love man? Or do you love manna? Yeah, the living word of revelation. This world was created for eternal delight. Eternal. This picture, this water has no end for those who long for it. The roaring of the lion and the voice of the lion, and the teeth of the young lions are broken. Like whelps, the lion perishes for lack of prey, and the whelps of the lioness are scattered. Do you hear? Oh, you don't hear? Well, go to Job 20:17. Yeah, and see what job you might find there. That's just, a few days back, like 2,000 years. A little while, y'all. Those who go in and out of the gate, it's just a snap of the fingers. These worlds in the hearts of all of Israel. The spiritual sons of love, not of darkness, but of eternal light, never seeking the darkness or lying words or hidden ways. Yeah, let all be revealed, that all, the truth would make all free, that our children would live forever. Would you give your life for such a thing? Would you take your son as Abraham took Isaac and lay him upon the altar? Or did Isaac in his maturity go with his father and willingly lay himself upon the altar? Are you a son who willingly places himself upon the altar in the hope of glory in your Father's heart to save you and provide a goat for the fire? Yeah, he is faithful and true. Is he not? If Molech be God, worship Molech. If Yahovah be God, worship him. Yea, have you not seen the fire, the pillars of fire, yea, and the clouds of smoke, in the burning upon your heart? Yea, you running out of your caverns for the smoke, the cloud of glory, yea, is drifting within there. Now a word of truth was brought to each of us stealthily. What have you done with it? And each of our ears have received the whispering of it. Amid this disquieting thoughts, from the visions of the night, yea, when deep sleep falls on men, dread has come upon us, and trembling, and made all of our bones shake. Then a spirit passed by our face. The hair of my flesh bristled up. It stood still. But we could not discern its appearance. A form before our eyes. Silence. Then we heard a voice. Can mankind be just before God? Can a man really be pure before his Maker? Yeah. Can the butchers and the bakers that know all the candlestick makers, could they ever, be made pure before our Maker, and King? He puts no trust even in his servants, and against his angels he charges error. How much more those who dwell in houses of clay, earthen vessels full of water, whose foundation is in the dust. Like the potter's clay does the earth beckon their hands. Whose foundation is in the dust, who are crushed before the moth. Who? Oh, it's those, that dwell in houses of clay, are crushed before the moth. Do you hear? Oh, you need a witness? Well, read Genesis 2:7 and see if you have a slit in your veil or a crack in your split window. Between morning and evening, they are broken in pieces. That the breeze would freely come and go in and out. Unobserved, they perish forever. Do you hear? Their flesh taken away in the darkness, their spirit vaporizing, as the avengers in the days of old. Is not their tent cords plucked up within them? Do they not play their music upon their tent strings? Yea, between them, their tent cords they pluck as a guitar string. Yea, let it be plucked as a chicken up within them. They die yet without wisdom, having sought it all their days. But only by the Spirit of truth that slays all evil in a man's heart can the living word be made active and true and flesh in each of our hearts. What was that? Did you hear? Did you say, "Are you my huckleberry?" Well, I'm your huckleberry. Yeah, the barber shop's closed today. Call now. Is there anyone who will answer you? And to which of the holy ones will you turn, mighty friend? Yea, the God I serve, his Son created them all. Yea, not the image of the beast, but the Spirit of truth before the whole earth. Yea, Isaiah 55, on the highway and on your byway. That you may be forgiven this time around. Yea, in the space of an hour, young men become 20. And in the Jubilee year, all is forgiven and things can restart. May your counting and your forgiveness and your balance, yeah, and the love of the truth in each of our hearts, yeah, manifest in the Spirit, that we would live a life in the Spirit and only walk in the carnal mind. Yeah, to implant the living word within each passerby. For anger slays the foolish man, and jealousy kills the simple. We have seen the foolish taking the root, and we cursed their abode, yes, and him immediately. His sons are far from safety. Do you hear? They are even oppressed in the gate, yea, of their burning. And there is no deliverer for them, for they love not the truth. And the Spirit of justice and truth that come as the 7 spirits in the right hand of the Son of glory in the earth. Oh, the treasured vessels of wisdom and knowledge, yea. Let them come, the 20, each 50, a 70-year jubilee, all lined up in the shining and the redness of the stars. His harvest the hungry devour, and it is too a place of thorns do they take this word without the truth in their hearts. Yea, that it will devour their souls in their lustfulness, as the waters of the Red Sea crash upon them. And the schemer is eager for their wealth. Yea, that they would freely give half of all they have in their kingdom. Yea. That the water would be poured upon the righteous as Purim is made known unto all the earth in a measure, yea, a Hebrew private eye unseen, yea, right hands, left hands, blind men walking, yea, into the pit. For affliction does not come from the dust, nor does trouble sprout from the ground. For man is born for trouble, as sparks fly upward. But as for each of us, we would seek God, and we would place our cause before God. And who does great things, unsearchable things, wonders without number? Who does these things but the Spirit of truth in a man's heart made flesh? He gives rain on the earth and sends water on the fields that have received the seed, so that he sets on high those that are lowly and humble in their nature, and those who are, mourn, and are lifted to safety. Do you hear? You need a second witness, a mystery of 2:13 before you, brother, can be found if you apply yourself 22 and 29 times. He frustrates the plotting of the shrewd so that their hands cannot attain success. Liken to this very book as into the last, 33, magnified in verse 10. For the kingdom of priests upon the earth. He captures the wise by their own shrewdness. Yea, he casts the net forth, that it may bring all the fish and all the large, chosen, willing vessels to be chopped. And the advice of the cunning is quickly thwarted. By day they meet with darkness, and grope at noon, 12 o'clock high as in the night. But he saves from the sword of their mouth, and the poor from the hand of the mighty. So the helpless has hope, and unrighteousness must shut its mouth. Behold, mighty friend, how happy is the man whom God reproves. So do not despise the discipline of the Almighty One, for he inflicts pain in a way mysterious, and gives relief. Yea, in the marvelous way. He wounds, and his hands heal. Yea, like Shamir stone upon a righteous man's hands. From 6 troubles he will deliver you. Even in 7, evil will not touch you. In famine, he will redeem you, spotless ones, with faith from death. And in war, do you hear those that are locked? Yea, unlocked, yea, from the power of the sword. Psalm 144, magnified, yea, 10 times. You will be hidden from the scourge of the tongue, and you will not be afraid of violence when it comes. You, spotless ones, will laugh at violence and famine, and you will not be afraid of wild beasts in the field, for you will be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field will be at peace with you, spotless ones. You will know that your tent, yea, having been sown and placed over the turban, yea, with the almond branch in the rightness of your hand, you will know that your tent is secure, for you, yea, a ram of glory will visit your abode and fear no loss. For you will know also that your descendants will be many upon the earth, and your offspring as the grass, yea, treasured upon the earth. Oh, let a faithful witness come upon each of our hearts, Father. Oh, let a double portion be heaped upon those that thirst for righteousness, that they may be filled in Psalm 112 and 2, and Isaiah 44 and 4, yea, even 3 everlasting moments. You will come, yea, come to the grave in full vigor, like the stacking of grain in its season you will come. Behold this, we have investigated it. So it is. Hear it and know for yourselves. Then those that came and applied for the job answered, oh, that our grief were actually weighted and laid in the balances together with our calamity. For then it would be heavier than the sand of the seas. Therefore our words have been a rash in places unseen. For the arrows, yea, that we continually pierce upon the earth, yea, the arrows of the Almighty are within each of us. Their poison our spirit drinks. Their terrors of God are arrayed against us. Does the wild donkey bray over grass? Or does the ox, even a calf, low over his fodder? Can someone or something tasteless be eaten without salt? Or is there any taste in the white of an egg? Do you hear? Our soul refuses to touch any of these things. They are like loathsome food to us. Oh, that our request might come to pass, mighty Father, and that God Himself would command and ask the faithful Son to grant His longing. And His fullness of the Son could reveal the Father in all the earth. Would that God were willing to crush us, that He would loose His hand and cut us off? But it is still our consolation, and we rejoice in unsparing pain upon our right side for our King, that we have not denied the words of the Holy One. As a big old locomotive trembles and quakes upon the rails of iron, yes, the bags of coal, the wind blowing them, burning them, making them hotter as angels fly from the earth, around with coals in their hands, holding them with palms and placing them on lips to remove the iniquity within each willing vessel's heart. To never worship mighty Jehovah in the way of a pagan, or a Greek, or any other god, but only one, and in the name of truth, which is His Son living and breathing upon the earth in each of our hearts, as our Father's Son's glory is in our hearts, with that love that our Father's Son has to do the Father's bidding in the heaven, yea, the heavens upon the earth. So it is given each of the humbled hearts that have the burning of their hearts, that has burned the wax in their ears, that they can hear the word of truth and smell the scent of heaven and discern the pit of hell and the scent of the raging emerald ocean, the rotting of the sea, yea, the wretchedness upon the earth, and the glory of the coming of the Father's Son in each of our hearts. Yea, that we may give it back to our treasure, the pearl of great price given each of us. Yea, that her joy would be made full in giving the King of glory in her heart, and holding the King of glory in her right hand, as he holds her left-handed heart, and her right hand pours the oil into all the sons she had been given that had died, that now Elisha's coming forth, the 7,000 spirits of truth piercing, darkness's veil, like the blue glove pounding, and the blue meanies of old, do they come forth. But know the end from the beginning, mighty friend. The tenderness, of the blue meanie is found when his stony heart turns flesh. And that tri-turning blade of a yellow submarine comes with the cavalry to pull you out of the mysterious, deep, wicked darkness of monsters and bring you into the grace and knowledge to forgive them, even as they try to suck you down and demand your bones upon every place. But is it still in our consolation? And let us rejoice in unsparing this pain, that we have not denied the words of the Holy One, that his glory would heal the pain by our word and our patience and our waiting for the mama eagles to fly. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word. When the mother eagle and the spirit of the wind of truth comes rushing by, the mighty rushing wind, may your little talons and may your little wings outstretch as mama's wings as you fly. Is our strength the strength of stones, or is our flesh bronze with the bow? Is it that our help is not within us, and that deliverance is driven from us? For this despairing man, kindness from his friend, so that he does not forsake the fear of mighty Jehovah, the Almighty One, who sends the Spirit of truth to slay wicked men's hearts and to set righteous men free, to walk the earth in the glory of the knowing of Mystery Babylon, and a true believer who never turns back towards it, who goes forth marching, never to be a pillar of salt upon the flesh of Moloch gods ever again. My brothers have acted deceitfully like a wadi, like a foothills that receive the mountainous rains and carve deep gullies between the mountain tops and wash the sands of time into the Dead Sea and pollute it with their salt covenant Let it be a stumbling block from this day everlasting forth. Let the crusting of the bread and the salting of their bread be their covenant once more. Let them knead not the dough wantonly. Let them not have things in their mind that make it rise. For it takes just a pinch of flour, to leaven all the loaves that eat it on the Sabbath day. And judgment, as vultures sit and speak the greenness of the word, that the dog would return to his vomit. Like the torrents of the wadis, which vanish in the sands of time, which are turbid because of ice, into which the snow melts. Now, who wants to get rid of ice? Now, who wants a wall that they control the passage through? And who doesn't want a wall where they cannot control? The icebox 5. And the blade of the 20 young men that stand in the Jubilee day and time. Mighty sons of mercy, avengers of the days of old. Merciful hands, patient waiting the sealing of the foreheads and the scratching of the beard and the scent of the nose. When they become waterless, they are silent. When it is hot, they vanish from their place. The paths of their course wind along. They go up into nothing and perish. The caravans of Turn away, mighty friends of inequity. Looked. The travelers of Sheba hoped for them. Those that only want a wall where they have guards at the gate, where unrighteousness can flow in and out as babies and pork in hog troughs upon the earth. They were disappointed, for they had trusted. They came there and were confounded. Indeed, you have now became such. You see a terror and are afraid. Have we said, give us something? Or offer a bribe for us from your wealth? Or deliver us from the hand of the adversary? Or redeem us from the hand of the tyrants? Teach us, and we will be silent, and show us how we have erred. How painful and honest are words of truth, and not the twisted words we have inherited. But what does your argument prove, mighty friend? Yea, your lawyer of dead letters, reviler of the spirit of the word of truth? Yea, wanting for the Zadik, liars most of them. Synagogue of Satan, weaving as, yea, silk, fine linen, yea, rotted in the stream by the babbling brook. Pulled, thought to be cleansed by the brook in the water, but found rotting, yea, like their flesh. Do you intend to reprove our words? Well, when the words of one in despair do you hear? When the words of one in despair belong to the wind. Yeah, when does that occur? Yeah. They're taking applications for that one around 8 on level 2. You, Billy Goat, would even cast lots for the orphans. Yea, salted ones. And barter over even your friends. Yeah, I'll give you my son if you'll give me your son. And we'll have a really good festival on Sunday. And this Easter, the spiral cut ham. Yeah, we'll eat that with them, and then we'll eat, yeah, this one in the night. Desist now. Now, please look into our eyes and see if any of us, lie to your face. Desist now. Let there be no injustice. Even desist. Let the righteousness in each of our hearts and minds, yea, let it come in. Has it not yet come in your heart? Is there injustice on any of our tongues? Cannot our palates discern the calamities that come upon those seeking reward?